Welcome to Just Hair Me Out, a podcast about love, life, and hair. I'm Barbara. I've spent over 38,000 hours coloring hair.
Hi, I'm Demetra, and I've spent over 1,000 weeks with scissors in my hands.
With 50 clients a week in our chairs and 22 years on our feet, doing hair is not our hobby, it's our hustle. We've navigated salon politics and then opened salon suites of our own in 2020. We choose dogs over kids, skinny marks over beer, and we've only fired 3 clients each. Welcome back. Today, we are going to discuss some men.
Yes.
I want to start out, Demetra, by reading you some comments.
Oh,
from
where?
our YouTube channel. So we are on YouTube now, y'all. And I never thought our target audience would be men, but they are making themselves known. Here we go. So they've been commenting on our clips from our episodes about dating advice. All right.
Okay, cool.
Matthew Hoover, 3433. I think that might be the last 4 of his social. Writes, they are both way too old and single to be giving relationship advice. This advice is why young single women become old single women. And there's a frowny face at the end.
Okay, first, wait, what's his name? Hoover?
Hoover.
Okay, shout out. Thank you for watching our podcast. And that's the whole point. You want older people to give you advice because we are wise. We've been there, done that. Dumb. Okay.
Okay, but there's another one. Okay. This is good. We're going to enjoy this one.
Okay.
This one's kind of long. Bear with me.
All right.
Someone has, gosh, I can't even tell what that name is. IR Fanalam. I don't know. Okay.
Lamb, damn lamb. Okay.
Ladies gossip online to make cash. Pathetic and sad. ... Deliberately throwing a ranch at someone. Yeah, ranch. After leading them to the bait to measure their worth before discarding them like a piece of trash. Very predatory, shallow, and manipulative animal behavior.
We are animals.
It's
First
not
off.
It's not done.
Oh. Okay.
He goes on. There's a lot of time and energy put into this.
Oh.
Sad mind games. Just be truthful and real with people and set better example of human communication than other person should tell you same sooner or later. World is getting uglier than what it was before. Sad.
Yeah, you know what? I actually agree with the Bambalam person a little bit because, the world is effed up. And that's why Barbara and I were having that whole conversation saying that when we're saying throwing a wrench, we're not saying throwing something that is not realistic. What we were saying is throwing a wrench of something that that you have a boundary, set it really early on and see that person's reaction. I mean, I didn't really mean throw a friggin' wrench at them and see how they react. No. Oh, this person's going to punch me in the face because I threw a wrench at them.
Well, and this person, people. I'm sure, isn't even listening. But, ladies, just to be clear, just anything that is not what that person you're trying to date wants. If they're not getting their way, how are they going to act?
Right. And that goes both ways. Let me tell you something. This person, I don't know if it was a male or female. It sounds more like it was coming from a man. But statistically, they're all liars. Or at least 95% of the time. Women don't lie as much as men do. So this person's kind of in their feelings about something that, well, women pretty much, they tell you who they are from day one and what they want. Men are always the ones that we have to meet their representative and then they change. They're the biggest gaslighters. And I hate to say it. I trust me, I have nothing against men, people. I love them. But the truth is we are wired differently. That's okay.
Yes.
We're wired differently. Just accept that. No bashing here. You're just all liars.
Listen, Demetra and I have tried, not with each other. We have tried to be lesbians. It would be so much easier. I don't know why we like men.
I mean, seriously, right? I don't know why we do either, but I do.
Okay, and I gotta say, my husband is like the kindest, nicest man ever. I know there's
He
others
he
sort of
is
like
pretty
that.
awesome. You like
He is.
honestly, I'm team your husband.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
But I mean, it's at least 50-50. Like, you just never know with like how men treat women. Like what you're
Yeah.
gonna get out of a person you're trying to date.
Well, I have an interesting story that I can share with everyone today.
Yes, go ahead.
And this is maybe why some of us are the way we are, maybe more guarded or whatever. But I'm going to share the story with you first. There is a person that I was, I guess you could say, maybe dating, hooking up with for about almost 2 years, like, right? Kind of stopped for a few months. I met someone else, kind of let him know that. And then he wanted to come back around basically and say, hey, I messed up and I really want to be with you now. Let's make this work and, get rid of this other person, blah, blah, blah. And of course, did I believe this person? No, you had 2 years of kind of like, I didn't expect much from this person to begin with. It was what it was. I was okay with it, you know? So I was kind of like weary a little bit, like, where is this coming from? Is it just because I have been with someone else and I'm not giving him the opportunity now at all? Long story short, people, he literally just kept calling every day, checking in, kind of doing what they do, right? And later on that night, he, was trying to get me to come see him, and I didn't for whatever reason. I get a phone call, a FaceTime, and it's from him, but he didn't realize he FaceTimed me. And this is the same couple hours later after he was trying to get me to come over. Okay, couple hours. All right, not days, whatever, couple hours. And he has another woman over there. And for 30 minutes, I listened to this FaceTime.
You stayed on the line for 30 minutes?
I did. Is that kind of crazy? Well, you know what?
It's entertaining.
It was entertaining. It was entertaining, right? I mean, yeah. I think it would have been more fun if I just like went to his house and knocked on the door. That would have been more fun, but I could care less, honestly. I didn't care enough to even do that. I even tried speaking into the phone, but they couldn't hear me because at one point during the conversation, because I wanted to make sure maybe he's just hanging out with a friend. I don't want to make an assumption.
Yeah.
It wasn't a friend.
Okay.
And the girl asks him, and this is the interesting part. She's like, hey, I just want to know, are you dating anyone else? Okay.
And what did he say?
He said no. She goes, okay, well, are you sure? Or are you trying to? Am I like the only one? Yes, yes, yes. There's nobody else. Oh, and mind you, the day before, this guy was like, I let you get away. I should have married you. That's how extreme he went.
Yeah.
I should have married you. Okay. So when you wonder why we are the way we are, people and men, and we say men lie. And this girl specifically told him, I'm listening to this conversation. She's like, it's okay. Like, I just want to know where I'm at. I'm cool with what we're doing. This is what she says. I'm listening to, I'm cool with it. Like, you just don't have to lie to me. I just want to know, like, what's up. He still lied to her and lied to me.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what a fucking scumbag. Like, if someone's okay with the situation, why even lie? Just be like, yeah, I'm dating a few people, or that's what it is, or I'm being intimate with one or two other people, whatever. People, give them the opportunity to make that choice themselves if they still want to deal with you,
Yes.
but why lie?
Yes. I have been there, and it is baffling. It's like, you'd still get ultimately what you wanted, still being honest. It's just, it's weird.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But people say they want honesty, but again, it's saying people can handle the truth is what it is,
Yeah.
So.
Well, sometimes I think they're just little boys and they don't want to say something that's going to disappoint you. It's like some weird mommy thing.
No, I think this particular, that's what I get for messing with a younger guy too. I'm not butthurt about it at all. I kind of laughed about it, screenshotted, and said, hey, just don't call me anymore. That was like my ex that we were together for about like 2.5 years, and I'm not going to say any names or anything, but he ended up with one of my employees. after we broke up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, 2 years later, they must have still been dating, and he had been trying to reach out to me, like, every month. I'd probably get, it was like a drunk text or something, "Miss you. What are you doing?" Shit, and I wouldn't respond. So I got one in January, I got one in February, I got one in March, and I wasn't responding. And then finally, like the third one, he had sent me a text, but with a picture with her too, basically trying to get me to join both of them.
What?
Yes. And then finally I responded, right? Because when I had first found out that they had gotten together, I never said anything to him or her. I was like, well, we're broken up already at this point. When I found out, it was already like a year later
Yeah.
that they had been doing this, I guess, behind my back or whatever. So, I mean, what is me saying anything going to do anything? Nothing, right? So my response to them both was, first off was, "You wish," right? And then I had basically had addressed both of them just in case she didn't know he was sending the message, right? We don't know. So I had put her on there too, so she knew. And I said that they're basically just, disgusting people and to just never contact me again. I think he got pissed that I like, "You guys are gross to me." Like, literally, it's been 2 years and you're still thinking about me. Honestly, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So he got so pissed off, he sent me a slew, maybe 14 text messages of all pornographic videos and photos of him, her, sexually. So I had to like block him and get like a restraining order and all that.
Oh my
But then when you wonder
God.
why people are so effed up in the head, I mean, thank goodness, like both of those situations, like listening to the FaceTime, watching all those pictures, like I didn't get her. I actually laughed at it and realized, oh my God, why did I ever lower my standards for somebody like that has the capability of doing? Women, you need to also know you are not a reflection of the scumbags that you date. Just so you know that. Because for a long time when we first broke up, I had a lot of guilt. I was like, oh my God, this guy was total like white trash. What was I thinking? I grew up with class and morals, and I lowered my standards. I did. That's the truth, to be
Yeah.
with someone like that. But it doesn't say anything about me that he ended up turning out to be a bad person. I'm just a good person that got unlucky with a bad person. That's all. But he was also a true narcissist. And if anyone has ever dated a narcissist, it is traumatizing. Like, you do need to go to therapy afterwards because you are not the same person.
That's true.
That being said.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah, that was a lot, right?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. There's this therapist. I love her. She's so beautiful, inside and out. And she says it how it is, but she says that a lot of pretty women are very on edge and are always worried about men cheating, and men always say that they're the crazy ones. But she says the reason for this is because they're always being approached by married men in relationships, because they're pretty and men want to conquer them, right? So they're constantly looking at men as always being cheaters or liars, because that's all they're seeing from their end. And she made a very good point and example that a woman who's just very mediocre, she can be standing in a bikini. There could be tons of men around her not really looking at her. And she looks at men as like they're nice, respectful. She doesn't have to worry about her man cheating because she has never experienced it. Men don't try to slide in her DM. Men aren't trying to sleep with her. Does that make sense? And after listening to this therapist say that, I'm like, oh my God. And I know people are gonna be like, this bitch thinks she's pretty. Yes, I am. I am pretty. Okay.
Yes, you are.
Pretty enough to have had this experience that it's true, and it's not that we're crazy. It's called, this is what I have been through. I have experienced. So yes, I'm going to be wary every time I am in a relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I'm doing the healing work, people. Relax. I'm not that traumatized. I'm just saying.
So also I learned this from the girls I work with. That there are Facebook groups. There's like one of these for every city, ladies. A Facebook group called like "Don't Date This Guy," or "Are we dating the same guy?" So people will like, tell them about this.
Oh my God. So I'm part of that group. It's on Facebook. You guys, it is horrible. This woman just last week posted a picture of her own husband. He was cheating.
Oh.
She posted his dating profiles that she found. Okay, now this is a married man, actively married, not going through a separation. His own wife posted him on this dating site saying, "This is a married man. I am his wife." Like, how ballsy. Do you not think that whether it be your wife might not be on the site looking to date, her friends might be, you think someone is not going to recognize you and it's not going to get back to your wife? And I know some people might say maybe he did it on purpose. He's trying to get out of the relationship. Whatever. Either way, it's disgusting. But some of the stuff that, regardless of this situation, it is really messed up. It makes me so nervous to like get back out there again and even try to date. Because I know I had said I might do it like at the first of the year, try to get on a dating site and really take it seriously. But when I start reading these comments, it's like they pop back up. I'm like, who wants to deal with that?
I know.
I don't know. I mean,
the more I think about it, the more I'm thinking you should only date guys that someone recommends to you.
I know, right? No, you're right. What pisses me off when people always say, well, not people, it's mainly men. And they say, well, you're 46. Why are you still single? And it's like, well, first off, I was married and I was with someone for 9.5 years. And I am single because I choose to be single. I'm not actively dating at all. You're not interested in them trying to say, well, guys are you're not going to find a guy your age. He doesn't want you. He wants the younger one. Well, guess what? That's not my person, because my man, whether he be 46, 49, 52, he's going to want me. He's going to respect me. And that's the person I want in my life because we're on the same level. Yeah. Clearly, you and I aren't. And that's another reason why I rejected you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So just a little helpful tip for you guys.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I have a lot to talk about on that subject.
While we're complaining, I just read this on the internet. When you talk about menopause, menstrual cramps, mental illness, they all start with men.
What is the coincidence on that?
I don't know, girls.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about really quick, though, this concept of trauma bonding. Have you heard that before?
Yes, I have. I've been actually trying to read up on it.
I was looking up the definition because I don't even know, like my mind is like scrambled. Trauma bonding is an emotional attachment that develops from a cycle of physical and or emotional trauma followed by positive reinforcement. So it's a continuous cycle of abuse, devaluation, back to positive reinforcement.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this is what it is so
that's
crazy
when you're dealing with a narcissist. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that's a true narcissist trait there too. If you're dealing with someone like that.
But it can also be like part of like what we are attracting because of our past stuff. One thing that's really interesting when you talk about trauma bonding, like how this can come back later in your life. If you think back, if kids are like spanked or hit, and then their parents are like, okay, and that's your punishment. Now hug me. And then they comfort you. That really sets you up for adult abusive relationships because you feel like it's a little normal for someone to like physically hurt you. Wow. And then give you love.
I have a quick question on that one.
Yes.
How quick after getting your ass beat or spanking is it too soon to be hugged?
I really don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
I would say at least not right away.
Yeah, I think if it's right away, that sounds demented. But if it's like a few hours later, I would say that's kind of normal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm trying to put myself in that situation. I'm like,
well, I'm just saying there's these things that happen when you're little or a kid, or I mean, even as like, I'm not saying, all this trauma we experience is just life. I mean, there's also like grade school and how your classmates treat you and, all this stuff. And it's just that sometimes these relationships kind of come back to, do you feel like that's what you deserve in how you're being treated? That's something to look at if it's happening more than once.
Yeah, for sure.
And
that's
the trauma bond. Okay, this is why I think that whole concept is fascinating to me, is because I have dated so many guys where I shouldn't say so many, like a handful, and one real doozy that is like at the top of my mind, where I knew he was treating me badly. I knew he was lying to me. I knew that I deserved better. I could not and would not break up with him.
Been there, done that.
I was like afraid to be without him. And he wasn't like, I mean, I acknowledge I could have stood up for myself and had some dignity about the situation, but I like focused on like the good stuff, and I really didn't want him to go away.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I'm being really serious about this. Do you think you were maybe stigmatized?
Maybe.
Yeah, because I think that's a real thing.
Yeah.
Right. No, but on a serious note, I mean, I'm being dead serious, right? Because I've been in that situation before too. It's like, you're being lied to, you're like, yeah, this person's gaslighting me, but you're kind of like, okay. At some point you also accept it because you're like, well, I'm not really taking this person that seriously anyways, and it's good enough for what it is.
Yeah.
Or is that a totally different conversation of what you're saying?
That's a different conversation, just in the sense that I'm the type of person that can't do casual, because I can say to myself I'm going to do casual, but then I catch feelings.
I don't think any women can. We are wired differently. So any woman that says that they can, it is a scientific fact, people. Science. There is science behind this. I wish I knew that this was going to come up, but maybe I'll do the homework so I can bring it back next time.
It's called oxytocin.
Yes. Oxytocin. Women release it during sex. So even if you think that you're going to be okay with this being casual, no. The minute we have sexual encounters with someone, your brain starts to think you are in love, even if you're not. And that's the difference. Why men and women are definitely different.
Well, and this is what pissed me off about how that guy treated you, because the one with the FaceTime, because I know that you were fine with it being casual, and you were just like, I mean, you take steps to make sure it just stayed casual.
Yeah, and respectful. Casual. Yeah, that's like, cool.
But at the end of the day, when you tell a woman, like, that's all I want, you have also put yourself in there as the placeholder until something better comes along. So you can't get mad when that better comes along.
Right.
And all you are is a placeholder to that woman.
Oh, yeah. He knew that I met someone else. I was straight up about it. I met someone else. I'm going to probably try to pursue this. And he kept saying, no, I have nothing going on. I haven't been doing anything.
It's just so annoying, because like the kind of guy who wants you when he can't have you, and as soon as he can have you, and it's like he's probably not even aware of it himself.
Probably.
But he's just, a slave to his other head.
Right. Totally right. Lying to himself and not even realizing.
Okay, so when it comes to the trauma bonding, I gotta tell you an analogy. So as I have become more of an adult, I've tried to have a little more dignity when it comes to these situations, because I know that my self-respect actually matters a lot more than what any dude thinks of me. And I don't feel good and like sleep at night well knowing that I didn't look out for me.
Yeah.
So do you remember Sex and the City?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so there's an one episode where the redhead, I think she decided she was going to eat chocolate instead of have sex. Like she was giving up sex, and then she was going to
don't do that, people. Just don't ever try to like use it as like a New Year's resolution. I'm not going to have sex. I don't know. That just doesn't sound right.
Doesn't sound right. So
I'm sorry. That's
coming from you.
It came out of my nose. Oh my God. It was just, that kind of hurt. Hurt.
Was that hot tea?
Yeah. With like some ginger, lemon ginger.
Oh, those are hot.
Oof.
Hot.
Okay.
You okay?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, so she
feel like I drowned, but I'm okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Demetra's like, who doesn't have sex? Oh my God.
I know. I just.
So, Samantha, that was, no, I'm sorry. The
No.
redhead.
Wait. I forgot her name. But we know redhead. Come on. She stands
The redhead,
out, right?
found that she was becoming addicted to like eating chocolate
Mhm.
or whatever. So anyway, she was really into chocolate cake, and she's trying to get herself to stop eating so much cake.
Uh-huh.
And she's like gaining weight or something. So she has this sheet pan of chocolate cake, and she keeps going back to it. And so she takes the whole sheet pan and like throws it in the garbage can, or like dumps the cake in to the garbage can.
Mhm.
So there's an entire half a cake. And then she like walks away from it, and she's like looking at the garbage can. So then she takes like a thing of salt and like pours salt all over it. So she can't like eat it out of the trash can.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta tell you, that has been motivational to me. So if I know that a guy I have been dating is horrible for me, he's an absolute dumpster fire of a human being, and I can't seem to just say bye, I will burn the bridges so bad that there's no coming back.
Oh, that's called self-sabotaging. I am
Yes.
infamous for that. I never knew why I was doing it though. But okay, go ahead.
It does work though.
It does work.
Yeah.
And you know what's a really good one too? Like I'll admit it, I have no self-control. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I mean, trust me though, when I'm done, I am done.
Yeah.
But up until that point, it takes me a long time. But what is really helpful is to block them, then delete their number. Then this way you are not the one reaching out at all. And we're not saying to do this to like someone that is like a decent person. We're talking someone who is just really not good for you. It's just a bad situation. I don't believe in blocking. People are like, I'm gonna block this person. I can't stand that shit. I can't stand it. If you effing block me once, like I'm done with you. I will never speak to you again. But I had to learn the hard way. I got blocked once, and I still talk to this individual afterwards when they unblocked me like an idiot. But what I found too, you know what they do, Barbara? I just found this out, that if they're going on a date with someone else or someone's going to spend the night with them, they will block your number for the night. So you're not interrupting them. A guy friend just told me about that. So they block you temporarily. And you don't even know like you've been blocked unless you're trying to get a hold of them.
Yeah. So how do you know that you were blocked?
Well, you don't know. My guy friend was telling me this is what him and his friends do. They'll block a girl.
Yeah.
You know, or if she's annoying him and he wants to go out with another girl, like for that weekend, they'll just like block them, you know.
Because they don't want interruptions.
They don't want interruptions, and they don't want the other girl seeing, or they change the name on the phone. So when the contact comes up, you're under a guy's name. And to me, it's just so disgusting and sad that we have reached that point, that we are changing the names in our phone, the contacts. Even if you're someone that doesn't go through your significant other's phone, I mean, usually if someone's sitting right next to you, you can see there's hearts, there's emojis, whatever. You can see someone's name pop up, right? You don't have to be going through their phone, but that's why they do it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, people. Like, if you have to go to that extent to block someone for the night or put them in as a different name, just be fucking single. Be single. Be honest. There's plenty of people out here. They're like, yeah, this is cool. Like, you could date a few people. I'm gonna date a few people. This is good for what it is. Like, let people choose, you know. But like, if you're reaching that point, you have to be lying that hard or to be that much of a chameleon. Honestly, like you're just lying to your fucking self.
Yeah.
People are messed up out there. I'm sorry. That's
I'm on a mission to find Demetra a partner who is her equal.
Thanks. Maybe we should do like date night. Like maybe we'll do like a win a date with Demetra night. Like auction me off.
I will be screening.
Is that weird?
I'll be screening the applicants. No.
Yes. She's hardcore, people. Come prepared.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Because I just gotta tell you, I did not know that there were people like my husband until I met him. And he is so kind. I thought I was a really nice person. He's definitely nicer than me.
You're You are, and you know what too, Barbara, besides you, I mean, because you're nice, but you're not that nice, girlfriend. You know how to set boundaries. You know, you're nice in a very healthy manner. And you're very just like, I just love your demeanor in general. Like you're a good person. And you see, you're very stable and you always stay the same, which I like. But your husband, I only like met him a couple times and talked to him. What an, oh my gosh. So see, we're not bashing all men on here, people. We're not men bashers. Look at Barbara. Her husband's amazing and she loves him. And he's such a good guy, right? Like
he is.
She's saying there's good men out there.
I don't know how to find them. He doesn't, trust me, I have asked him if he has any friends for you.
Yeah, even him. He's probably like, oh.
It's like, well, I don't know about that friend. Well, he's right. Not, trying to date them. So
yeah, that's true. But they know what they're about. We tell our friends everything, right?
So my husband is so sweet that he really loves animals, and he isn't a vegetarian, but he just chooses not to think about that part too much. He doesn't like it when things die. He also won't kill spiders. He takes them outside.
That's me. That's me. I do the same shit, Barbara.
Oh, you're really sweet. So I gotta tell you, I hate spiders so much. So much. And it's deep and real, and let me tell you why. I've always had arachnophobia.
Oh.
Once when I was living alone, I had a spider bite and it did not go away. So I did see one in my house that I couldn't get to. I was like hoping to get it and kill it, but it was like extra scary. And I think it was like a brown recluse.
No, in your house?
Yes.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah, that is scary.
I lived higher up, and so I had I think it probably lived in the trees out, beside the building, or I don't know. I just know, the higher you go, the bigger the spiders.
Oh, I didn't know that. You mean higher in elevation?
Yeah,
so if you're in a building,
what floor you live on.
Okay.
I used to work on the 33rd floor of a building, and the snow would go from bottom to up. It would just go the other direction. And also the daddy long legs were enormous.
Oh, wow.
They're the king up there.
Yeah, and they're fast. They're fast.
Well, so I saw this big ass ugly spider, did not catch it. And the next day I had a spider bite on my leg, and it was itchy, and it did not go away. After 2 weeks, I go to the doctor. I had to have antibiotics to get rid of this thing.
Really? So you had, you're lucky that you went and had it checked, because people, have you ever heard of when people get bit by certain spiders and then it starts to eat away at their flesh?
Yes.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what kind of spider bit you, though, that caused you to have to take antibiotics.
I think they said it had to be, because I at that point was looking up images. I think it was a brown recluse.
Wow. So to all you spider specialists out there, if you're listening to our episode, can you let us know what Barbara was bit by?
Ew.
Yeah. Email us. Let us know. We're curious.
So ever since then, I've been extra nasty to spiders. So at one point,
you're such a hater, dude.
I am.
You're such a hater.
They're little shit bags, man. Okay. So
that's how I feel about people's kids. They're always filled with germs.
I used to smoke. Okay. Not proud of it. But okay, also
when
you're an assistant, you only get a break if it's a quote unquote smoke break. So that's how a lot of us start smoking. So I was out back once of a salon having a little cig, and there were these really big spider webs at the corner, and I would flick my ashes in there, and then the spiders would go and smoke it, because they're think it was a bug or something.
Oh.
So I was hoping they would get lung cancer.
You're so mean, Barbara. You know what? You better be careful what you say, because we're going to fucking have PETA all over our ass right now. Listen, people, I'm an animal lover, even a spider lover here. This is on Barbara, not me. Don't hate me. I'm just saying.
I also have another story. So then I kept seeing really big spiders in my garage. And I know what you're going to say, Demetra. It's just in the garage. Why do you care?
Yeah.
Because they were so big. They were so big. And I had been on antibiotics for a spider. Okay? Drugs for a spider.
Trauma bonded
to these arachnids. And then Okay, so there's this huge one on the wall, and it was like right by where I'm like trying to go into my car. So I walk right by it. So I take off my shoe and bam, and I like smashed it onto the wall of the garage. And then I was like, ew, that is so nasty. It's like, legs are like,
yeah.
And so I left it there. And then the next day I was like, I think I'm gonna leave it there for good because I didn't have a tissue. I left it there for a year and a half because I wanted the corpse to stay there to warn other spiders. Like, this is what's gonna happen to you, motherfucker. If you come in my garage.
Okay, all right. Now that you're you're so smart.
I was trying to Dexter that thing.
Ooh, yeah.
I will take your legs off.
Watch out.
Long story short, my husband is way nicer than me.
Me too. I'm nicer than Barbara, for sure.
She is.
Yeah, just a
I
little
wish I was nicer. And you know what else that I just love? Okay, I know you're probably tired of hearing about this. My husband loves my parents. How nice is that?
Well,
And my parents
I know
love him.
your mom. There's a lot to love there. She's a little sweetheart.
She is.
I mean, easy to love.
Like, there's stuff that I take for granted in her, and he's like, she is the kindest, sweetest. Like, she's the epitome of like what a grandma would be. And I have nieces and nephews who, of course, they love her. And my husband just thinks, because his mom was more like spicy than sweet, even though she was cool. And my mom is like sweet, 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 sweet. And he's just like, oh my God, I love her.
She is. She's just so adorable. Super sweet. Yeah. Aw.
So
shout out to mamas. Yay.
Love you, Mom. Sorry about the spiders.
Love you, Mom. My mom too.
All right. So we're going to work on our man-hating issues and get back to y'all. Oh, one last thought. Mansplaining. It's when
What's that?
A man will tell a woman, like, break down what something means without her even asking him to, because he assumes that she wouldn't know. That's mansplaining.
What?
Yeah. You never heard this?
No.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay. Example.
Yeah.
Say you're like at the gas station and your tire's really low on air and you haven't noticed. If some guy comes up to you and is like, oh, well, you need to blah, 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 because of course you don't know about it because you're a woman and he's a man.
Oh, he's a hater.
And so you might be somebody who totally knows how to take care of your car, but he's going to mansplain that to you. Okay, so there's a new term for it already, and it's called correctile dysfunction. Thank you so much for listening. We are going to go do our homework. We're going to have an episode in the future about how great men are, but we have to do a lot of homework to figure out what we're going to say.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Toodaloo.
If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe or follow. And please leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Lastly, follow us on social media for clips of past and future episodes. All our accounts are listed in the show notes below. Thanks so much for listening.